Hello and welcome to Bookends. I'm Val Atman-Avage, and on this episode of Bookends, we're going to talk about the many attributes and accomplishments over the last 10 years of the Frederick County Spelling Bee. We'll sit down with Caroline O'Connell, who is our Frederick County Spelling Bee Chair, as well as a children's librarian at our Brunswick branch. We'll also chat with Mary Jo Richmond, who is the Frederick County Public Schools Media Services Supervisor and also a judge at our Bee. And we'll also talk to former winner Chloe Johnson about all the wonderful things that happened to her after she won our Frederick County Spelling Bee. So let's get STARTED.
The Frederick County Spelling Bee started in 2008, and prior to it starting, I had worked in the Frederick County Public Schools, and my children were students, and I had recognized that we didn't have a spelling bee program. So when I came to the library, I asked the library about the possibility of us starting a spelling bee program. And the library was always extremely interested in supporting things for the community, so they were very interested in getting involved. So on further investigation, however, we found out that the Gazette already had sponsorship of the Spelling Bee program, but they were looking for someone to offer the program with them. They had not started a program at that point. So we began offering the program with the Gazette, and we did the program with them for the first 5 years. And then later the Frederick News Post came on as our primary sponsor. The first 5 years of the Spelling Bee were much different than now because we weren't working with the Scripps National Spelling Bee program. So the library had to provide a lot of the resources and the supplies that we needed for the bee, which was actually very difficult. We had to come up with our own spelling word list. We had to run our initial spelling bees through our libraries, and then the winners of those bees would progress on to our county bee that was again offered through the library. So it was a very different program when we first began, and a much more time-consuming program without a lot of the resources that we currently have with working through the Scripps. 5 years ago, our Spelling Bee program signed on to work with the Scripps National Spelling Bee, and that totally changed the way that our program worked, because at that point we started opening up the opportunity to participate to local schools. And so now the schools are given resources from the Scripps National Spelling Bee to help their students prepare, and they get word lists for their students for their school competitions, and then the students now advance from their school into our Scripps National Spelling Bee program, Frederick County Spelling Bee program, and the winner of that bee will advance to the National Bee.
One of the reasons it's really important for Frederick County Public Schools to partner with the public library for this event is because without the partnership, the winner of this bee would not be able to move to the national event. So the partnership is really important for the winner of this event to move forward to the national bee. But more than that, I think it says to the community at large that this partnership is a very good thing, and it brings a certain elevation to the partnership, and I think that it says to the community at large that Frederick County Public Schools, Frederick County Public Library, and are doing good things for not only the students that go to the public school, the homeschool students, the private school students, that we work well together, and that your tax dollars are doing good for everybody in our school communities.
C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E. Credible.
That's correct. Strong spellers in the bee spend a lot of time studying the origin of words. They study phonetics. They become masters of all the phonics involved with the different sounds that come from different languages. And of course, the student who participates in the bee program, they need to have a lot of self-confidence because they are standing on a stage in front of an audience that's watching them. and it's a very good opportunity for them to participate in an event where they can work on their public speaking skills. So for some of the students who come, even though they are very good spellers, that is a very challenging part of the process for them.
All right, ladies, so it's down to the two of you.
And Salumi, the last year's winner, was still there fighting it out. And we got down to the very end there where there were only two. And part of me was thinking, wow, I knew she could do it. I knew she could get this far, but now what happens? Because it's such a, a gamble. Like, what word do you get?
And that was so stressful because I would spell something right, she would spell something right, and then we go back, and then I would spell something wrong, and she'd get to go on a winning word, and I was just like, oh my, I was freaking out. And then she'd spell the winning word wrong, and then we were back to the drawing board.
Each round, I would look at her, and she would look out in the direction where we were sitting, and I would know if she knew the word or not. So I could kind of tell from the look on her face, and so she got some right, she got some wrong, but each time no one won it, because you have to win your winning word to move on.
We had a chance at like 4 different winning words, and then I got a chance at one.
As soon as they said the word, she looks over at me, gives me a little smile, and I'm like, my heart's beating, my stomach's like, and she spells her word.
Keplerian. K-E-P-L-E-R-I-A-N.
Okay, that is correct. All right, we made it. That's the winner of our B.
The moment that I won the B, it was just so overwhelmingly exciting. Like, it was something that I never imagined that I could ever do.
But that look on her face, and she just spelled it nice and slow, and she knew she won, and it was, I think my brain was gonna explode. It was just so exciting. So, it went down with a lot of fireworks, but she ended up winning.
I've seen the spelling bee grow, and the spellers have gotten better at mastering the words. It takes a little bit longer to reduce the field as the spellers just have gotten better and better. I would say to all the spellers that want to stay up there longer and longer, make sure you read the rules carefully. Make sure you know that the packet that you get we'll do the spelling words from this packet, but then eventually we move on beyond that packet to much more complicated words.
What I do is I just figure out how it's spelled, like picture out how it might be spelled in my head. And another thing that helps is you always ask for the language of origin. That's one of the most important parts that tells you how a sound or a combination of sounds will be spelled. So, and that can vary from language to language, so knowing the language that it comes from is a huge help.
I would suggest a couple of things. One is, it sounds silly, but reading the dictionary is actually a very good thing to do. I mean, Chloe did actually do that a lot just as an activity when she was little. An amazing thing also now that people are using e-readers is almost all of them have the option to, if there's a word you don't know, you just click on it and it brings you to a definition page and you get broken down, in terms of all of its parts and then the definitions of those words. And that, if you have the interest, will just add so much to your knowledge.
I mean, don't make it so much about trying to win the B. I mean, study, that's important, but don't just study your life away until the B comes. Like, enjoy the B, enjoy all the experiences that come with it, go on the tours, go have fun, make some friends, and do some cool things because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience and you don't want to throw it away.
This year's Spelling Bee program will be held March the 11th at 1:30 at the Frederick Community College campus. The Spelling Bee program is available to elementary and middle school students. And again, the most important process is to contact your school. Schools may have a minimum grade range for you to be a participant in the program. So contact your school and get them involved. We hope to see you at this year's Bee.
Well, that's our show. Hopefully you enjoyed watching Bookends and learning all about the Frederick County Spelling Bee. As always, for all things library related or spelling bee related, visit us at fcpl.org, and we'll see you in the aisles.